Alright, peace, 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 peace. Welcome. So this is going to be your reading. Um, Thank you for your patience, and I do apologize for the delay. But yeah, let's definitely get into it. So first and foremost, I want to start off by saying this. So this is an astrology reading, for what I'm saying, and so I'm doing birth chart readings. So um, for what you paid for, you feel what I'm saying. I'll be in a sense looking into like your chart and all that good stuff, you feel me? But I can also help you find out when you'll be getting pregnant, you feel what I'm saying? But that would take like some research on my behalf, you feel me? Because this isn't like divination or tarot where like, you know, I tap into like the spirit world, or I tap into like your, I guess we could say, your higher self, or whatever, and I ask them like, yo, when is she getting pregnant? And then they tell me, you feel me? I'm not like telling people their future or anything like that. What I'm actually doing is I'm helping people learn and understand the birth chart, because the birth chart helps people understand themselves better, you feel what I'm saying? It helps them understand the different dimensions of themselves, you know, what they are focused, where their focus is most centered, you know, things like their strengths, things like their weaknesses, things like their um, character, you know, their personality, things like that. But ultimately, I don't know if you are aware of astrology, you feel what I'm saying? But yeah, that's what astrology is all about, helping people become more aware of themselves, right? Um, so yeah, that's what we'll be doing today. So first and foremost, you have your ascendant in the sign Sagittarius, you feel me? And we're gonna start off with talking about this because the ascendant deals with the personal life, you feel me? It has rulership over you, you feel me? As an individual, but more so your personal life. And when I say personal life, I like to expand your awareness of what I'm saying by giving the contrast, you feel me, between, for example, the 7th and the 1st house. So you have your moon in the 7th house, so we'll be talking about your 7th house today, as well as that will be of importance. So the 7th house is the house of partnerships, relationships, and marriage, you feel what I'm saying? This house um ultimately this house ultimately deals with like lovers, you feel me, boyfriend girlfriend relationships, but it just deals with personal relationships. Like, for example, if you were to get into a business partnership with someone, you feel me, boom, that would be a personal relationship, you feel me? But it's not based on intimacy, it's based on business, but it's still personal, so that's still Libra. My bad, the 7th house, you feel me? I bring up Libra because Libra rules the 7th house, but yeah, the 7th house. Okay, so in astrology, the houses, they signify the different departments of the life. The signs signify different energy signatures, you feel me? And then so let me break it down like this for you. A planet signifies a function. The sun signifies the function of like identity, you know, ego, expression, the me, the individual, you feel me? Individuality, energy like that. Um, but then, my bad. Yeah. Right, so that's what the sun is, the individuality. How one manifests into the world as an individual. So the things you want to be recognized for, how you want to be seen, these are all things that deal with the sun, right? The sun is the light, right? The sun draws people's attention, right? You can't help but to pay attention to your sun. So the sun not only signifies the things that you're bringing, yeah, the things that you're bringing attention to. My bad. The sun ultimately signifies the things you're bringing attention to, and so your sun is in Scorpio in the 12th house. So the sign Scorpio is a sign that deals with desires, you feel me? That's like its initial fundam foundation, desire, you feel me? And Scorpio's thought trend is I desire, you feel me? So interesting thing about Scorpio and Taurus, these are two signs that are opposite to one another. And Scorpio, right, deals with desire, but then Taurus deals with possession. Taurus is a earth sign, Scorpio is a water sign. Water deals with emotions, earth deals with possession. Earth deals with the physical world, you feel me? Having material, having a job, having money, um, having a routine, things like that. That's all earth. But when we're looking at Scorpio and Taurus, we have to understand that Scorpio and Taurus are opposite signs, and so even looking at them in contrast will help you expand your awareness of you being a Scorpio. And so Taurus is a stable sign, thus Scorpio is an unstable sign. Scorpio deals with chaos, going into the unknown, going into the uncomfort zone, and growing and evolving. You feel me? You have your sun in the 12th house as well, which is an indication that in this lifetime, you feel what I'm saying. There is a karmic undertone, you feel what I'm saying? And let me explain. So the 12th house is a house that deals with, like, first and foremost, right, it does deal with the spirit realm. So naturally people who have their sun in the 12th house are aware of the spiritual realm, because like I said, the sun deals with what it is you're bringing attention to. It is what you bring the most life to, what you vitalize, you feel me, where your attention is most directed. And for you, it's the spirit plane. You feel what I'm saying? In astrology, also, like the timing and the date is all very important. So as long as you give me the correct timing and everything like that, yeah, you feel me? Sun in the 12th house energy would express like this. So yeah, the 12th house deals with the spirit realm and spirits, you feel me? And so this Scorpio as well, but Scorpio more deals with dead people, people that are disembodied, right? They don't have bodies anymore because they died, but they still exist as spirits. That's Scorpio, you feel me? Um, the underworld, and things like that are all Scorpio, you know, life after death. But then Pisces is more like when you think of, honestly, for real, you probably know that Scorpio is ruled by Pluto, and Pluto is Hades, right? And so when you think of, like, the movie Hercules, right? The Disney movie Hercules, and like Hades is domain, you feel me? That's kind of Scorpio, you feel me? When we're talking about, like, the spirit plane, because Scorpio is more negative. It's yeah, it's a negative sign, real shit, you feel me? Um and so yeah, you feel me? But then Pisces and the 12th house as well just deals with the spirit plane in general. So right, you see in the movie Hercules that there are a heaven and a hell, I guess. So Pisces would, I mean, the 12th house would just rule the heaven and the hell. You feel me? It's just the spirit world in general. So yeah, I hope that makes sense. So Sun in the 12th house individuals um are individuals that are tapped in, are individuals who are, yeah, when I say tapped in, I mean, like, yeah, tapped in spiritually, but also tapped into the consciousness of the collective. You know, there can be this sense of awareness, you feel me, the sense of awareness of things that you may not have received through your physical senses, but like maybe you received it from a dream. Like the 12th house, Pisces specifically, deals a lot with dreams, but the 12th house is ruled by Pisces, so the 12th house becomes a house of dreams. But it's like everything that the 12th house and Pisces rules is unconscious and deals with the hidden and unseen world. And so what happens is, because these individuals have their sun in the unseen house of the 12th house, you feel me, they in of themselves a lot of the times feel invisible, feel like they're unseen, feel like they're ignored, or feel like they're moving behind the scenes, You feel what I'm saying? If that makes sense. Yeah, okay. Yeah, like, because I guess the 12th house is also a isolated house. So ultimately, the 12th house is a house that deals with surrender. So another um analogy is like the 12th house is the last house, and the first house is the first house. Oh shit, obviously. So the first house deals with the ego and the self, the me, the personal life. You feel what I'm saying? But then the 12th house, it deals with the end. You feel me? Where the ego needs to die, and the ego needs to surrender to God. You feel me? To a bigger thing. You kind of like think about it this way, like an embryo, right? When a baby is developing, at first the baby is 2 cells, then it's 3 cells, then it's 4 cells, then it's 5 cells. Um, but it's like every time um, the baby splits itself. What is that? Anyways, oh, it's nothing. Every time the baby splits itself as a cell, um, it dies. You feel me? Because when the baby splits itself, it becomes a new creature, a new if that makes sense. Um, yeah. So it's like I say that to say that in order for us to attain higher levels um of higher life forms, we have to first die and surrender. You feel me? Into something bigger than us, if that makes sense. Um, so there's this show. It's called Rick and Morty. You probably heard of it. And so in the latest season, they have this episode where the character Morty is stuck in a video game. You feel me? It's a simulation where he put his head. It's like a virtual reality where when he put the remote, the control, he forgot that he was in the world, and so there is a world of different people, a whole world filled with all these different people, but they're all the same person. You feel me? And then when Rick, the other character, came to save Morty, um, he had to collect them. You feel me? And um, tell them that this is not real. That yeah, tell them, you feel me, that like this, that their experiences right now are not real, and that they're pretty much stuck in a video game. You feel what I'm saying? And Morty had to tell, my bad, Rick had to tell the Mortys that like they had to unify, um, and that's the only way for them to save themselves. And so the reason why I brought this up is, you feel me, in this animation, they were revealing like the truth that we are multiple compartments of consciousness unified into one. You feel what I'm saying? Um, and from an even more simplistic standpoint, um, you can think of like how the different organs within you work together to create the organism that's you. You feel what I'm saying? So yeah, like the 12th house is a house that deals with surrendering um oneself to like the bigger picture. You feel me? So the 12th house is a house that brings forth like self-sacrificial energy and people that have to be selfless. You feel me? The 12th house is so it's the 12th house is ruled by Pisces, and Pisces is ruled by Jupiter. You feel me? So, but anyways, that's beside the point. I don't want to talk too much about the 12th house. You feel what I'm saying? But yeah. So with your sun being in Scorpio in the 12th house, this is very like occult energy. You feel me? Very spiritual energy. Like, it's no coincidence that I'm doing your reading in the dark right now. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I usually don't do this, but yeah, it's just been a really interesting day today. But yeah, So one thing I can also tell you about this, like the Sun and Scorpio energy, is like you have to understand that Scorpio is a sign, you feel me? That's we already talked about how it deals with desire and its doctrine is I desire. Now Scorpio is ruled by Mars, right? And Mars is a planet, you feel what I'm saying? That deals with like the animalistic natures of humanity. So Mars is known Mars is commonly known as like the god of war, right? I'm pretty sure you heard that before. But Mars also deals things like sex, things like lust. Um, and then on the negative standpoint, Mars, it deals with like rape as well. But Mars is just like the animal within humans. You feel me? Like humans, we have a soul. Well, yeah, we have, or I should say, we have an ability to be conscious of our soul. Like, because from my understanding, everything has a soul, but humans, what differentiates us from the animals is we can consciously operate from our souls. You feel what I'm saying? Um, and so yeah, but then it's like there's other aspects of us that is not our soul. You feel me? And those aspects of us that are animalistic are ruled by Scorpio, and so being associated with sex and everything like that. Um, Sun and Scorpio individuals naturally are very sexual. You feel what I'm saying? And so, I was doing a reading for an individual who's an Aries. You feel what I'm saying? And so Scorpio and Aries are both ruled by Mars, you feel me? And so both Aries and Scorpio are sexual signs. And so I had to break it down for this individual that like, yo, it's in your energetic like com composition. It's like in your energetic composition that you are sexual and that you need sex. You feel me? It's like certain individuals, because of their astrological composition, they're really better off like not like being more celibate. You feel me? But then other people need that like intimacy and connection. You feel what I'm saying? And I guess that's one thing I'll portray here. Um, yeah. And so, like, to conclude the Sun here, this type of energy, because I talked about how the Sun is what you get paid attention for, but also what you bring attention to. You feel me? So it's like, things like death, even. You feel me? Because Scorpio is a very dark sign, very gothic. You feel me? Things like death and transformation. You feel me? Scorpio is the type of sign that's continuously like being reborn, you can even say. But ultimately, both Scorpio and the 12th house are karmic houses. And so the 12th house is a house that deals with like imprisonment even, you feel me? And this doesn't have to be literal physical imprisonment, like especially with Scorpio being in your Sun as well. But this imprisonment typically will manifest as an emotional cage or a mental cage, you feel me, that was built due to like baggage or like sorrows that you are carrying with you, you feel me, because the 12th house deals with sorrows and baggage, you feel me, and then Scorpio is a fixed water sign, you feel what I'm saying, and we talked about how all the water signs deal with emotions, but like when it comes to Scorpio being fixed water, you feel me, fixed, like for something to be fixed, it's stuck, you feel me, it's not moving, it's grounded. And so Scorpios are fixed emotions, and this can play out as like grudges, and so a grudge can play out even as like someone holding onto something, but then that thing evolving as they grow, right, that thing growing with them, until one day that thing grows into a little I don't know, you feel me, like a little shadow creature, because you didn't deal with it, you feel me. That's the thing about the Scorpio energy, is they tend to hold on to grudges and hold on to things, you feel me, and not deal with it. But then it's like people don't realize that when you dissociate with an emotion, because emotions are energy in motion, it's like that emotion has its own, I want to say, unique intelligence separate from you. But like what I really mean by that is that, you feel me, it's like, for example, when you go through something, right, and then you are traumatized from that experience, you feel what I'm saying? And Scorpio being ruled by Mars, you feel me, a lot of their experiences are traumatic. Right, you're traumatized by something, but then you disassociate yourself from that experience. It's like there is a version of you that that thing happened to, that's still like suffering, you feel what I'm saying? um but yeah, so like, yeah, so then what happens is, especially with the Scorpio energy, like they find themselves in a place where they need to heal, right, where they need to learn how to integrate and all these other things, you feel what I'm saying? But yeah, I'll close it off at that. Like Scorpio Sun, 12th house, is an energy where a lot of healing is necessary and important. And I also want to say this, with the 12th house being in your sun, right? The 12th house, we already talked about it being the spirit house of, the spirit plane, right? And when you're having sex, for example, you, because of like the velocities, you produce, see, when you're having sex, you're, involved in intense emotions, right? Hence why Scorpio rules sex. And Scorpio deals with intense emotion as well. Lust, desire, you feel me? Even like determination and passion, etc. etc. But anyways, yeah, like with this energy being here, Sun, Scorpio in the 12th house. You see, yeah, as I was saying, like those intense emotions you experience from having sex, like energizes your nervous system to a key where spirits, that are less dense but more spiritual can contact you. And so ultimately the difference between us and, things in different dimensions is, our vibration, you feel what I'm saying? Their atoms are vibrating faster than our atoms, you feel what I'm saying? And sex, because there's so much motion and movement and energy happening, allows you to move closer to their vibrations, their energy. And so that's why through sex you can open up a gateway for a spirit to come through, you feel what I'm saying, a baby to come through. Because when you have a child, that's what you're doing. um you open up a gateway, right, then you allow a spirit to come through, right, then there is this agreement between the two of you that, all these agreements really, but ultimately that you will form a vessel for it, and it's like when there's a contract between a parent and a child, you feel what I'm saying, that you will be my parent and I'll be your child, like it's because there's a spiritual reason for it as well, you feel me? There's a service that the both of you can benefit from. I meant to say that the both of you can benefit, and that's why you choose each other. But yes, that's what, so that's babies, right? And that's how I can us integrate babies in this reading. But alright, so now let's move into the 7th house. So you have your moon in Gemini in the 7th house. So whereas the sun deals with your expression outwardly, right? And the things that you don't mind being seen for, right? The things that you want to be seen for, before what I'm saying. The sun is a very outward, expressive, it's a masculine energy. It's all about the world and your persona to the world. You feel me? And I also want to say this, like Scorpio and the 12th house, this can be like a mysterious persona, or a person that, yeah, a person that's mysterious to others, but also a person that isn't public like that, but likes to be more private, more introverted. Then like the moon in Gemini, right? Alright, so we explain what the sun is, not the moon. The moon deals with your internal world, your reactions and your responses. Think about it this way, right? We know that the sun, reflects its light on the moon, and then the moon reflects its light on the earth. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like this. Our sun is how we capture light coming at us, but then our moon is how we reflect that light In other words, our moon deals with our reactions and responses. The moon deals with the emotions, you feel me, and how we emotionalize things in our reality. So, yeah, the moon is also the inner self, you feel me? So yeah, with your moon being in Gemini in the seventh house, first and foremost, you're a sort of individual who is a very intellectual person, logical. You feel me? One thing about you is your thoughts are very prominent. And on top of that, you also have your moon in the deacon of Gemini that deals with reason. So with your moon being here, right? With your moon being in Gemini, first and foremost, Gemini is mutable air. You feel what I'm saying? So people with their moons in Gemini typically tend to be very chatty mentally. You feel me? They may not be chatty outwardly unless you're comfortable and you're with someone that you're comfortable with. Then you won't stop talking. But for the most part, when the moon goes into Gemini, these are types of people that are always thinking in their head. You feel me? Like your thoughts are fast. You feel me? You have a powerful processing system when we're talking about your mind. You feel me? Mentally speaking, you feel what I'm saying? And so a lot of your thoughts and the things that you try to like figure out, I guess, deal with relationships. You feel me? You do spend a lot of time and energy thinking about your relationships, your partnerships, your lovers. You feel what I'm saying? All that type of energy. Um, okay, okay, yeah, you feel what I'm saying? So when the moon goes into Gemini, these are also individuals that are very friendly. You feel me? They like to have friends, and they're good with people as well. Only thing is that they can be kind of like superficial in the sense that they may lack an ability to connect with people, but kind of just create connections that aren't potent, meaning that a Gemini will be friends with everyone, but doesn't really have friends. You feel me? Like they know everyone, but they don't associate or consider someone a friend. You feel what I'm saying? But I will say this though, like also Gemini more deals with internal associationships. So Gemini deals with the thought. You feel me? And so with your moon being in Gemini, it's important for you to become familiar with your mind and become familiar with thoughts. You feel me? And become aware of what a thought is. The fact that a thought is real, and the fact that just like in this physical world, you know, things are composed of like elements, right? From the table of elements, right? In the astral world, things are composed from the table of thoughts. You feel me? There's also thought elements. So ultimately, Moon and Gemini individuals benefit tremendously from becoming aware that you are building your reality through your thoughts. Because Gemini, as I said already, is a sign that deals with the thoughts. So you need to learn about thoughts and then um, take advantage of everything that deals with thoughts. You feel me? And with your moon being in Gemini in the seventh house, like for example, if you knew that the way that you're thinking, your emotions, greatly contribute to your reality, then what you would do, you feel me, because it's in the seventh house, is you would become conscientious and attentive to the fact that your relationships, they are reflecting to you yourself, like especially with the moon, because the moon is a very reflective planet. It's introspective. It deals with the self. It deals with the inner self. You feel me? So you can't fake the funk when it comes to the moon. Like you can fake your sun because your sun is what you express out into the world. You can express this energy of, yeah, I'm okay, I'm good, but like your moon is like, nah, dog, you're not good, you're not okay. You feel what I'm saying? So the moon is the more inner self, the subconscious mind. And so moon in seventh house, your relationships are very, first and foremost, subconscious, intimate, close. You feel me? Like moon and seventh house individuals, they need a lover, they need a partner. You know, they need relationships. Um, yeah, but I guess one thing is changeability. Like the moon is a very changeable planet, but Gemini is also a very changeable planet. So moon and Gemini, for what I'm saying, can play out as like this energy where you may have hard times with promiscuity, being promiscuous. You feel me? Because Gemini is a curious sign that likes to experiment and experience different variety. You feel what I'm saying? So yeah, at times you may want to have a little bit of this and have a little bit of that. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. Um, Looking deeper into your chart, you have Venus and Libra in the 10th house. So relationships and love becomes of great importance to you. Then you have Mars in Libra, so uh like you're a people pleaser, right? And when it comes to people and like maybe confrontation, you may fall short. You feel me? Like Mars and Libra energy are people that need to learn how to cultivate um conviction, um assertiveness. Yeah, you feel me? And learn how to stand up for themselves and not be pushed around and not be too much for the people. You feel what I'm saying? So, but for the most part though, with this people energy, you're a sort of individual who's better off around people. You feel me? Um, who's better off having sex than not having it. Um, um, yeah, I don't know how I feel about giving that type of advice, but it's like that's the truth, you know. Um, like we do live in a world where, rather I should say, a society, because it's really the Western world that thinks like this, right? Where sex is taboo and things like that, but it's like in reality, we're human beings and we need it. You feel me? And it benefits us. And yeah, you're just the type of person who would benefit from having more of it than less of it. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay. So your ascendant being in Sagittarius. So it does makes you an optimistic, positive person. You feel me? Like with the Scorpio energy, it's an indication that a lot of dark experiences have found their way into your life. You feel me? A lot of dark experiences have found their way into your life. But then it's like with the Sagittarius energy, it's this awareness of one's like divinity and awareness that like yeah, it's ultimately awareness of one's divinity, you know, an awareness that all will work out at the end. You know, Sagittarius is a very philosophical sign. It's a sign of reasoning. You know, it believes that like everything will work out. You know, and it's always looking for a higher reasoning and a higher purpose. Um, I'll conclude with this. So you have some pretty intuitive signs as well, like Gemini in your moon and your Sun in Scorpio. So I would say that when it comes to like pregnancy, that you can have success trying to find out for yourself. You feel what I'm saying? Like maybe asking your guides, right? Closing your eyes, going into meditation, and trusting your intuition. You feel what I'm saying? But yeah, that pretty much concludes your reading. Let me know what you think. All right, peace.